face. There are cameras pointed at your front doors, recording every person who walks in and every person who walks out. And the footage goes straight to the people trying to put you in prison for the rest of your life. Your passport is gone. You are not permitted to leave the city, and you are on an island. There is exactly one way out of Japan, and it runs through an airport, and every officer in that airport has seen your face on the news for a year. You have to be out of the country tonight. There is no version of this that works. It's a sealed room. It should not be possible. He did it anyway. Welcome to Straight Face. This is how Carlos Ghosn did it. November 2018. A private jet touches down in Tokyo, and the police are already waiting on the tarmac. The man they arrest that afternoon is not an ordinary executive. Carlos Ghosn ran Renault, Nissan, and Mitsubishi, not one after the other, at the same time. When Nissan was months from collapse in the late 90s, he was the outsider who walked in and saved it. Japan didn't just respect him, they wrote comic books about him. The charge, hiding the true size of his own pay. From national hero to a cell, in the time it takes to taxi to a gate. And here is the number that turns a legal problem into a trap. In Japan, once prosecutors charge you, the conviction rate is about 99%. That is not a figure of speech. Ghosn was not waiting to find out whether he would be convicted. He was waiting to be convicted. Months in detention. Interrogations with no lawyer in the room. And when bail finally came, it came with the cage you already know. The cameras, the surrendered passport, the rules about his own family. A smaller cell with better furniture. Two options: stay and lose, or do something nobody had ever done. He didn't plan it himself. He found men who did this for a living. Michael Taylor, former United States Army Green Beret, a career spent in private security. The man you hire when the ordinary options are gone. He brought in his son, Peter, and they built the entire plan on one simple truth about security everywhere on Earth. A truth I can't tell you yet, because the plan never gets to use it unless three impossible problems get solved first. Problem 1. The front door. The cameras are recording. The footage goes to the authorities. And to this day, exactly how he got past his own entrance has never been fully explained in public. What the record shows is this. At the end of December 2019, Carlos Ghosn was outside and nobody was following him. Which creates problem 2. Distance. Because the plan does the opposite of what you'd expect. It doesn't run for the nearest airport. Tokyo is where they're looking. Tokyo is where that face gets recognized in seconds. So he goes the wrong way. He boards a bullet train and rides hundreds of kilometers, in public, surrounded by strangers, to Osaka. Think about what that costs. Every minute on that train, he is one glance away from ending. One commuter looking up from a phone. One person who read the news that year. And there is nothing he can do about it except sit still and not be interesting. The train arrives, which leaves problem 3. The one the whole plan lives or dies on. The airport. Airport security is built to search people. Passengers get scanned. Bags get scanned. Faces get checked against passports. There is no walking through Kansai International with that face and a borrowed coat. So, how do you get a human being past security without security ever looking at him? You don't. You use the truth the whole plan was built on. Every system watches the man. Almost no system watches the furniture. The large black road cases that carry concert equipment, speakers, amplifiers, move through airports constantly. They are too big for the baggage scanners. They are cargo. They are furniture. They put him in an audio case. The man who ran Nissan, the man they wrote comic books about, folded into a black box built for speakers with holes drilled in the bottom so he could breathe. And then came the part no film would get right.
He had to do nothing. For a long time. In the dark. He could not see. He could not ask. He could not know whether the man standing on the other side of that wall was a pilot or a police officer. The case was loaded onto a private jet. The jet took off. It did not fly to Lebanon. It flew to Turkey first. A break in the chain, a change of aircraft. So the plane that left Japan and the plane that landed in Beirut were never the same plane. Carlos Ghosn stepped out in Lebanon, a country with no extradition treaty with Japan, and weeks later he stood in front of the world's press and took questions, a fugitive on camera. There is an Interpol notice with his name on it. It has changed nothing. He had won, but somebody paid, because the plan worked for exactly one man. Michael Taylor and his son Peter were arrested in the United States. They fought extradition, and they lost. They were flown to Japan, tried in Japan, convicted and imprisoned, in the country their client had just proven you could walk out of. The two men who carried Carlos Ghosn out of Japan went to prison in Japan.
He got the jail. They got the cell he refused to sit in.